What if one bold decision could change everything you thought you knew about love? Meet Jessica Stein. This neurotic New York copy editor has survived countless awful dates with men when she randomly answers an ad from Helen, a cool art gallery manager looking for a woman. Their unexpected connection throws Jessica's carefully organized life into chaos. Kissing Jessica Stein isn't your typical rom-com. It's messy and real, diving into complicated questions about identity and sexuality without getting preachy. You'll laugh at Jessica's overthinking and rooting for both women as they figure out what they want, which might not be what either expected. What happens when a single ad in the personals flips the script on traditional romance? Don't worry, in this recap, you'll have all of your questions answered. So stick around till the end. Our story starts in New York City with our girl Jessica, this 28-year-old copy editor and artist whose love life is basically a train wreck. Poor Jessica's been on so many awful blind dates, it's ridiculous. The model train guy? The dude who brought his mom? Yikes. She's totally stuck in this loop of romantic disasters that would make anyone want to scream. Then there's Judy, Jessica's mum, your classic Jewish mother who won't quit with the matchmaking. Her setups are usually with guys who have the personality of cardboard. Jessica's drowning under all this family pressure to find the one. Work's no escape either. Her ex-boyfriend Josh is literally her boss at the newspaper now. Talk about awkward. Their weird history makes every interaction super uncomfortable. Plus, her friend Joan is pregnant and living that perfect life Jessica's family keeps hinting she should have. So Jessica's nights are filled with these painful dates where guys either talk about their exes or don't listen to her at all. She's desperate to find someone who gets her, but it feels totally hopeless. Jessica's flipping through personal ads and spots one in the Women Seeking Women section that quotes Rilke, her favorite poet. Something about it grabs her attention. Despite always thinking she was straight, she's weirdly drawn to this ad. This is where things get interesting. Jessica actually responds to the ad and meets Helen Cooper, this confident, free-spirited woman who runs an art gallery. They're total opposites, but there's this spark between them that Jessica can't ignore. So, Jessica keeps staring at this ad in the Women Seeking Women section, totally unsure what to do. She's never even thought about dating a woman before. But there's something about that Rilke quote that just speaks to her. After fighting with herself for days, she finally responds. The ad was placed by Helen Cooper, this super confident art gallery manager who's just so done with boring dates. She's dated guys before, but those relationships always felt empty. Now she's exploring her bisexuality, looking for something real. Jessica is freaking out before their first meetup at this dimly lit bar downtown. She's all nerves and awkwardness, practically shaking as she walks in. Helen spots her right away. She's got this warm, inviting energy that immediately makes Jessica feel a little less like she's about to throw up. Their conversation starts super awkward. Jessica's overthinking every word. But then they start talking about art and books, and suddenly they're connecting on this whole different level. The chemistry between them is undeniable, even though Jessica keeps trying to deny it to herself. Then it happens. Helen leans in and kisses her. Now this kiss? Well, it's the focal point of the whole movie. It's soft and gentle, nothing like the aggressive makeout sessions Jessica's had with random dudes. This kiss leaves her totally confused, but also weirdly excited. She goes home that night with her head spinning, questioning everything she thought she knew about herself. Over the next few weeks, Jessica's having this major identity crisis. Is she gay? Bi? Just experimenting? She has no clue. Meanwhile, Helen's being super patient, giving her space to figure stuff out. She's been through this journey herself and knows it's not easy. They start spending more time together, checking out art galleries, grabbing coffee, talking for hours about books and life. It's different from any relationship Jessica's ever had. There's this deep emotional connection that she never found with guys. Helen challenges her thinking, introduces her to new experiences, and makes her laugh in a way that feels so natural. But Jessica's still keeping their relationship a total secret. She's terrified of what her Jewish mother would say, how her friends might react. She's not ready for the questions, the judgment, the label of being gay or bi when she's still figuring it out herself. So they become this secret couple, hidden away from the world. This secrecy starts causing problems. Helen's been open about her sexuality for years, and being Jessica's secret girlfriend is starting to wear on her. She wants to hold hands in public, meet Jessica's friends, be acknowledged as her partner. Every time Jessica introduces her as my friend Helen, it stings a little more. They have this big fight about it one night. Helen's like, "I'm not going back in the closet for you." And Jessica's crying, saying, "I'm not ready for everyone to know." They're both right and both wrong. And that's what makes it so hard. Jessica starts questioning if she's being fair to Helen. Is it right to ask someone to hide who they are? At the same time, she's terrified of disappointing her family, especially her mom, who's always dreamed of her Jewish wedding with a nice Jewish husband. Meanwhile, Helen's struggling too. She really cares about Jessica, but doesn't want to spend her life as someone's secret. She's been there before and promised herself never again. But there's something about Jessica that makes her willing to be patient, at least for a while. Their relationship exists in this weird limbo, incredibly intimate when they're alone together, but invisible to the outside world. Jessica starts to realize that this double life is exhausting. She's constantly editing herself, watching what she says around friends and family, making up fake dates with men to throw her mom off the scent. The question hanging over them becomes, can Jessica find the courage to live authentically? And can Helen wait long enough for her to get there? Their journey isn't just about two people falling in love. It's about Jessica breaking free from expectations and finding the bravery to be herself, whatever that means. So Jessica and Helen are totally vibing, spending tons of time together exploring NYC, sharing their passions, and just clicking on every level. But like any relationship, especially one that's pushing someone way out of their comfort zone, they hit some serious bumps in the road. Jessica's still majorly struggling with the whole coming out thing. It's not that she's ashamed of Helen, she's crazy about her. But the thought of telling her super traditional Jewish family? Absolutely terrifying. She keeps imagining her mother's disappointed face, her friends' shocked reactions, the awkward questions. So she keeps Helen tucked away in this separate part of her life, like this amazing secret she's not ready to share. Helen's getting fed up with this arrangement. She's this open book kind of person who's already done the whole coming out journey years ago. Being Jessica's secret girlfriend is starting to feel demeaning. When Jessica introduces her as my friend Helen for the millionth time, you can see the hurt in her eyes. She wants to be acknowledged, to hold hands in public, to be part of Jessica's whole life, not just the hidden parts. Things come to a head during this big family dinner celebrating Jessica's brother's engagement. Jessica's mom, in classic Jewish mother fashion, invites this nice Jewish doctor to sit next to Jessica. The poor guy has no idea he's being set up with someone who's already taken. Jessica's sitting there, making painful small talk, while secretly wishing Helen could be there instead. It's this awful fake performance that leaves her feeling empty and exhausted. After that disaster of a dinner, Helen and Jessica have this explosive fight. Helen's like, "I can't do this anymore. I've already spent years figuring out who I am. I can't go backward for you." Jessica's crying, saying she needs more time, that her family wouldn't understand. It's messy and painful and real, the kind of fight where both people are right and wrong at the same time. This blow-up forces Jessica to do some serious soul-searching. She realizes it's not just her relationship with Helen that's suffering. It's her whole life. She's been living according to other people's expectations forever, afraid of disappointing anyone or being imperfect. But what's the point of being perfect if she's miserable? So Jessica does the scariest thing ever. She sits down with her mum for a heart-to-heart. She's shaking, stumbling over her words, but she finally tells her mum about Helen. And guess what? Her mum doesn't disown her. Sure, Judy's surprised and has like a million questions, but underneath it all, she just wants Jessica to be happy. That acceptance is like this massive weight lifting off Jessica's shoulders. Feeling brave, Jessica invites Helen to be her date to her brother's wedding. It's her way of saying, "I choose you, publicly, no more hiding." Helen shows up looking gorgeous, and Jessica proudly introduces her to everyone as her girlfriend. There's some raised eyebrows and whispers, but mostly people are just happy to see Jessica, so obviously happy. The wedding becomes this turning point for them. They dance together, laugh together, and for the first time, Jessica feels like her whole self, not split between who she thinks she should be and who she actually is. Helen sees this transformation and falls even harder for this more authentic Jessica. It's not a perfect happily ever after. They still have stuff to work through, but now they're facing it together, in the open, without the exhausting weight of secrets. Jessica finally understands that embracing all the messy, imperfect parts of herself leads to something way better than the perfect life she'd been chasing. So, after that super emotional wedding scene where Jessica finally introduces Helen as her girlfriend, things seem to be on the right track. They decide to take their relationship to the next level and move in together. Classic U-Haul lesbians, am I right? Jessica's feeling so liberated by her new authentic life that she quits her boring newspaper job to pursue painting full-time. Helen's still killing it at the art gallery, and they're living this perfect artsy New York couple life. But here's where things get complicated. Once the excitement of coming out and moving in together wears off, real issues start popping up. Jessica's dealing with this weird disconnect. She's totally in love with Helen emotionally, but when it comes to the physical stuff, she just can't fully get there. It's like her body and heart aren't on the same page. Helen starts noticing this, obviously. She's patient at first, but after a while, it becomes this elephant in the room they can't ignore. She wants a full relationship, emotional and physical, and starts feeling like something major is missing between them. They have these late-night talks that leave them both crying. Helen's trying to express her needs without making Jessica feel inadequate, and Jessica's trying to explain something she doesn't fully understand herself. It's messy and confusing and heartbreaking because they both genuinely love each other. This whole situation raises all these questions about sexual identity that don't have easy answers. Jessica's like, am I really gay? Bi? Something else entirely? And Helen's wondering if love alone is enough when such a fundamental part of their connection isn't clicking. After months of trying to make it work, couples therapy, heart-to-hearts, even some awkward attempts to spice things up, Helen finally has to face facts. She loves Jessica, but staying in a relationship where her needs aren't met is making her miserable. And honestly, Jessica's miserable too, constantly feeling like she's disappointing Helen. So Helen does the hardest thing. She breaks up with Jessica. It's not angry or dramatic, just this sad, quiet conversation where they both acknowledge that sometimes love isn't enough. Helen needs someone who desires her completely, and Jessica deserves to be with someone who matches her own level of physical attraction. The breakup destroys them both. Jessica feels like she failed at the most real relationship she's ever had. Helen wonders if she's giving up too easily, but deep down, they both know it's the right call. What makes this story so powerful isn't some perfect happy ending. It's that both women choose authenticity over comfort. They'd rather face the pain of separation than live a lie together. Jessica learned to be true to herself and her family, and now she's learning to be honest about her sexuality too, even when that truth is complicated and doesn't fit neatly into a label. After the breakup, Jessica and Helen find themselves at this weird crossroads that all ex-couples face. They've got to figure out who they are without each other, which is never easy. Helen bounces back pretty quick. That's just her personality. She meets this new woman who actually checks all her boxes. They have this amazing emotional and physical connection that Helen always craved with Jessica, but never quite got. It's like Helen finally found that missing puzzle piece. Her time with Jessica wasn't wasted, though. It taught her exactly what she needed in a relationship. Jessica takes the breakup harder, but channels all that emotion into her art. She quits her job completely to focus on painting full-time, which is a huge deal for someone who's always been such a control freak. For the first time in her life, she's embracing uncertainty instead of running from it. Her paintings become these raw, emotional pieces that are basically her therapy sessions on canvas. Then this totally random thing happens. Jessica bumps into Josh, her ex-boyfriend, ex-boss, at some bookstore. Talk about awkward, right? But surprisingly, it's not weird at all. Josh has changed too. He quit his job to become a writer. They end up having this really deep conversation where Jessica openly talks about her relationship with Helen. There's no shame or embarrassment anymore, just this honest reflection about how that relationship changed her. The coolest part of this whole story? Jessica and Helen actually stay friends. Not in that fake, let's pretend we're cool way, but genuinely close. They meet for coffee regularly and celebrate each other's wins. Their romantic relationship might have crashed and burned, but they managed to salvage this meaningful friendship from the wreckage. Jessica's journey shows how messy sexual identity can be. She never quite lands on a specific label, and that's totally fine. Her relationship with Helen wasn't about becoming officially gay or whatever. It was about understanding herself better, and that understanding continues to evolve long after they break up. Helen's story is equally powerful. She had the courage to explore her bisexuality and then the strength to walk away when a relationship wasn't meeting her needs. That's some serious emotional maturity right there. What makes Kissing Jessica Stein so damn good is that it doesn't wrap everything up in a perfect little bow. There's no, and they lived happily ever after moment. Instead, we see two women still figuring stuff out, still growing, still on their journeys. Their paths crossed, changed each other forever, and then diverged again, just like real life. In the end, both women find these new beginnings that actually fit who they've become. It's messy and complicated and beautiful, exactly like real relationships are supposed to be. So there you have it. If you love sapphic stories that celebrate love in all its forms, make sure to subscribe to Sapphic Nook. We break down the best lesbian movies and TV shows so you never miss a great story. See you in the next one here on Sapphic Nook.